To see that, I think, my God, what would that have been like, you know?
No. Do you think you've learned something?
Yes, I think so.
Through these marriages? I mean, are you taking some precautions now that you wouldn't in your new relationship?
Well,
not marrying, for example.
I am having an agreement before we get married about who owns what. A prenuptial. If I'd had that with Alice Faye, you know, I wouldn't be coming on a stupid show like this.
Thank you.
Oh, you got socks on.
Yes, you haven't got socks on. I noticed.
Oh, you've got socks on.
Yes.
It's stylish. I think it's good when guys don't have socks.
That's very pretty. You like that?
Yeah, I like it.
Well, this is all because I was getting so old. My hip was hurting me so much putting my sock on in the morning. Oh. So I stopped wearing socks, and then when I had my hip replaced,
So you did your hip as well?
I did my hip, and I'm having my knee replaced in 3 weeks. But, you know, it's all right. It's fine.
I've heard you actually taking steps also to live longer.
Well, I've been investigating what's known as stem cell therapy. Do you know about this? And they can now take stem cells from your own body.
Yeah.
And they can replace them in the body after they've enhanced them, and they can go to repair parts of the body that need repairing, which at 70s is quite a lot of your body. And I've become absolutely fascinated by it, because having become the happiest I've ever become, you know, in the last 70 years, I'd like a bit more of it.
So this is something you can do just because you can afford it?
Oh, it's certainly, yes. It's like American medicine. It's fine provided you have money. In fact, American medicine is very, very, very good if you have money.
But you don't really need stem cells.
Very
It's just something you do for the luxury of it, of being older.
Well, I don't think that's a luxury. I think that's a wonderful prospect. I mean, I have a very good friend who's a Tibetan Buddhist. He's Sogyal Rinpoche, who wrote the Tibetan book of Living and Dying. And a man I have enormous respect for. And I said, it seems to me a shame that I should otherwise be dead in 5 years when I've actually reached the point where I could be quite useful.
The Pythons were always making fun of the Catholic Church.
I think we were making fun of all churches.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
But what would be your view on the Pope today?
Well, I think the trouble, I have the most enormous respect for people operating within the churches, but it seems to me that Christ's teaching was really about trying to lessen the power of the ego. You know, blessed are the meek, they shall inherit the earth, and the poor in spirit, and all this. It's about trying to become less egotistical, because I think if that happens, you might have an experience of the divine. And yet, when I look at the organized churches, with respect, they do seem to want to get more members, more money, more influence. All that stuff is egotism. So I don't see how an organization that's behaving egotistically can teach a doctrine that's about making the ego less powerful. Do you see what I mean?
It seems what you mean. You have to follow always the example of Christ. Using your authority as a servant. He bowed down and he washed the feet of his disciples.
Exactly.
That's a constant challenge, I would say.
That's right.
Not least to the Pope.
We had your fellow Monty Python member Terry Jones on the show some months ago.
Now, which one is he? Can you remind me?
always play woman, you know.
Oh, the little Welsh guy.
That's
yes,
right.
the little Welsh guy. I always had trouble with Terry because he could never accept that the Welsh were put by God on the planet to carry out menial tasks for the English. He just couldn't.
Actually,
You're not Welsh.
No. He was a bit, shall I say, disappointed because he could now only these days he could only reach you through your secretary.
Well, I only talk to very important people myself.
So that doesn't go for all of the Pythons. It's just
no, just Michael Palin. I talk to Mike. No, I'm teasing. I'm always travelling, like Palin, and the easiest way to get hold of me is to get hold of a marvelous assistant I have called Gary, who's been with me for 21 years because he always knows what's going on. So I tell people to call Gary. But what I like about Terry is that he is with a girl now, a lovely girl called Anna, who's Swedish, And they have a 40-year age difference. You see, mine is only 31, so I'm very grateful to Terry that he can take all the stick.
So you would say there's a limit somewhere here, between 31 and 40, perhaps?
Yeah, it's about 32, I think, yes.
So are you planning children when you're like 110?
Well, it depends whether the stem cell works, you see. If the stem cell works, I said to Jenny, if I get to 100, let's start a family.
You see, Abraham started when he was 80.
Did he?
Yeah, and he was the father of all the blessed people.
Well, there were some women who were miracles too at that time,
yeah,
who got children when they were 100 or something almost.
And without even having sex, too.
You don't
That's
say.
true. That's true.
That's a miracle.
Yes, we'll have to take precautions about that.
I'm just sitting here thinking of how I could get ants in your pants so you could do the funny walk before I leave the show.
Well, if you can do the African dance, he might.
Well, I didn't want to ask, so that's...
But first of all, I've got an artificial hip.
That's what I was thinking.
On May
when
the
you talked
7th,
about the hip, I was like, oh no.
This is being replaced, but the surgery is amazing now. I talked to someone who'd had the operation. He'd had the operation on a Wednesday, and on the Sunday he was walking without a stick.
So the walk is really not funny anymore.
It's sad. I limp along trying to pretend that I'm only 70.
Robyn, you're gonna do a song for us called Fembot.
Yeah, that's what you're going to be when you've had those operations. You're going to be a fembot.
What is it?
It's a female robot.
A what?
A female robot.
Female robot?
So it's
Yeah.
a song about the female robot.
No, it's not. It's really about, I don't know, I think it's a song about human feelings and like, I don't know. I think it's really about a 30-year-old woman asking herself if she wants to get pregnant or not. That's what I think it's about. I don't know what you think, but that's what I think it's about.
So it's the same question John is working on here.
Yeah,
actually.
it is. I think it's more about like, it's not whether or not she wants to get pregnant, it's probably why she's asking herself why.
And what's the answer?
I don't know. I think I might have been brainwashed into thinking I have to get pregnant.
That's why God made sex so good. Because otherwise he would never persuade anyone to have children. They're little
Wouldn't be sitting
bastards.
here.
No?
Well, in my case, I'll make an exception. But, I mean, they're little bastards, really, because they cost a fortune. You spend your whole life worrying yourself sick about them, and then they turn out like their mothers.
Robyn, your band is waiting. Thank you so much. Vi sier jo this fall, og vi ses også til høsten. Tusen takk for nå.
What did you say?
Her er Robyn.
What did you say?
That was Norwegian.
Oh, sorry.